know we keep it simple. Trying to keep.
What's up guys, Omni here. You guys know how it goes, another day, another video. Last night I tweeted I sleep. What recent news, topics, tweets, videos y'all want me to talk about tomorrow? Hey guys, today is Wednesday, December 20th. We got 10 days until the end of the year and oh my god. What happened in the past 48 hours, okay? What did you do? If you're watching this video, you probably already know there's absolute mayhem out here from every corner of the world. And we're going to sit here and we're going to talk about all of it in today's video, which I'm assuming might be one of the biggest, chunkiest, wongiest of all time. So, so as always, you guys know the drill. Sit back, relax, put your feet up, and yeah, allow me to lay it on you. So Xenox said, stick him up. We want the cat. All right, you got me. I'll go get the boy. Let me go see if he's awake. All right, here's the boy again. The boy genius has returned, guys. All right, we're gonna start off today's video right. I know you guys want to know everything about everybody else that's going on around the world, but here's the most important guy of the day. He loves you and he says subscribe to the channel, okay, if you haven't already, and if you have, just like the video. All right. So Cat Frog said, well, this is going to be nuts. All right, okay, you guys know how this works, okay? Every time it's the beginning of the year 2023, 2024, everybody sits and they wait to see what's going to be the first huge big disaster of the year. Well, apparently we got a trailer to it because we already know what it's going to be. Pop Crave and a lot of people talked about this. It said more than 150 names linked to Jeffrey Epstein are expected to be released January 1st, 2024. The list includes at least one public figure whose name appears in Epstein's address book. You guys know who Jeffrey Epstein was. The guy that committed suicide in prison. He had his own island, the Jeffrey Epstein Island. It was a case that happened a long time ago where he would bring a whole bunch of celebrities and over to his island and they would just do unforetold things and rituals, okay? It was not a good play. Apparently this is all thanks to a federal district judge, Loretta Preska, who has basically ruled to unseal all of the court docs of the 177 people. So yeah, New Year's, aka the first day of January, will be on a Monday. So I will be here to talk to you guys about all the wild things that are occurring from this year to next year. Also in completely wild news, daytime room, and a lot of you guys asked me to talk about this really quickly. Trump got disqualified for running as a presidential electee. Is this real? I mean, I feel like every time I hear something about Trump, right? They can say Trump got shot. They can say Trump is dead. They can say Trump can't run. They can say Trump goes to jail. They can say whatever they want about Trump, and I still feel like he's just going to be there on camera doing whatever the hell he wants. But yeah, apparently Colorado's Supreme Court ruled that Trump is just not qualified for presidency, that he just cannot run. Serene with Axios wrote a quick TLDR summary of what this means for Trump and you. Why it matters. It's the first time a court has found that the 14th Amendment insurrection clause applies to Trump in relation to his actions surrounding the January 6th Capitol riot. The Trump campaign said it would file an appeal to the U.S. Supreme Court. As for the state of play, the court stayed the ruling from taking effect until January 4th, subject to further appellate proceeding. The Colorado case is one of roughly 3 dozen across the country seeking to remove Trump, who is currently facing 4 criminal indictments from the ballot through the largely untested insurrection clause. The state's high court questioned whether Section 3 of the 14th Amendment covers the presidency and whether the insurrection rose to that level. It comes after a lower court opinion allowed Trump to remain on the Colorado ballot. The 7 members of the court, who were all appointed by Democratic governors, appeared skeptical about reaching such a conclusion during oral arguments on December 6th. Axios Denver's John Frank notes the majority opinion on Tuesday acknowledged that the weight of the decision, saying, quote, "We do not reach these conclusions lightly." And then finally, of context, Section 3 of the 14th Amendment states that no one should hold office in the U.S. if they have, quote, have engaged in insurrection or rebellion against the U.S. or given aid or comfort to the enemies thereof. Trump's campaign responded to it immediately, saying, "Patriot, state Supreme Court judges, all appointed by Democrats, just removed my name from the 2024 ballot in Colorado." It's funny, whenever I read anything that's supposed to be written by Donald Trump, I can just hear it in his voice. Like I can see him with those pursed lips, right? And that glaze. Unpopular opinion, I honestly believe that Donald Trump is one of the funniest people on the planet, okay? Every time I see this man on camera, right, I'm just sitting there. He's a comedian. And I feel like I'm trying not to laugh, and then he'll say some of the most absurd things, like... Anyway, continuing, the Soros-funded Democrats who incited the lawsuit will merely use this tyrannical ruling to challenge us and the remaining 49 states, Crooked Joe, and the Democrats know they can't beat us at the ballot box. So their new plan is to nullify every single Trump ballot in the nation to keep Biden in the White House. Make no mistake, we will appeal this decision immediately. We will take this fight all the way to the United States Supreme Court, and please make your contribution to join the fight. TLDR, guys, what this means is that Donald Trump could still run for president. It just sounds like he won't appear in Colorado's ballot, which is not too big of a deal for him because from what I understand, Colorado is always a blue state anyway. But this will put pressure on other states to maybe come to similar rulings, specifically because they're talking about the 14th Amendment and the insurrection. And if any of these rulings actually pass in a swing state, one of those states that sometimes go blue and or red depending on the year or whoever's running, then yeah, this can make it really difficult for Trump to actually win the election. It doesn't mean that he can't run, but it means that he won't appear in the ballots for that state, which is absolutely huge.
No wonder Crooked Joe Biden and the far-left lunatics are desperate to stop us by any means necessary. They are willing to violate the U.S. Constitution at levels never seen before in order to win this election. Joe Biden is a threat to democracy. It's a threat. They're weaponizing law enforcement for high-level election interference because we're beating them so badly in the polls.
Donald Trump. But yeah, guys, that's Donald Trump. The next election is going to be 2024, okay? Next year. So get ready for some all-out freaking WAP and mayhem. Speaking of mayhem, Dream has finally dropped the response video to address all of the allegations that have been out against him for the past 2 or 3 years or so. And it's an hour and 22 minutes titled The Truth. Okay, it dropped yesterday around the evening time, and it made extremely large waves on Twitter as the pros and the antis of this whole sphere started clashing about whether or not it was a good video or not, and it was definitely the talk of the town. In case you guys don't know what's happening here, okay, this is Dream. Dream is a YouTuber. He's a Minecraft YouTuber. He's been doing it since, I think, 2019. Originally, he had a mask on, and then he took off the mask, and then people started making fun of him because they said he wasn't that attractive looking. But then it started going in a little bit further because people thought that he was grooming minors using Snapchat. There were allegations coming left and right, and he's one of the most hated people on the internet that I know in the YouTube sphere. Like, it was a recent situation where the voice actor of Gumball and one of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles basically beat him up and hit him in the face, and then also started calling him all of these slurs. And the internet's response to that was like, hey, bro, congratulations, you're based for assaulting Dream. That's how much the internet hates this man. The video in question was uploaded to his main channel. It's titled The Truth. It's got 2.4 million views in 15 hours, and oh boy, 207,000 likes versus 141,000 dislikes. That's a lot of dislikes for a video, but this is also a lot of likes. That like to dislike ratio going kind of wild, but seeming to be in his favor when it comes to this video. He says in the description of his video that the video covers important and serious topics. Viewer discretion is advised. All profits will go to Find the Joyful Heart Foundation. Find more information here. The video is monetized, so he's saying that all the money that's collected and donated from this specific video is going to go directly to the Joyful Heart Foundation. We can audit him later and see if he pulls a Gerard the Completionist. This video uses music, visuals, and sound effects to aid the viewer and help them understand and retain information easier. Serious topics are not drama. These lies were spread to hundreds of millions. I can only do my best to make sure the truth can be consumed as easily as possible. I believe that everything in this video is extremely important, even though addressing the more serious accusations is much more important. Foundation of some of these claims, including some of other false claims that were quickly debunked, was built on me being a creepy, dishonest person. Addressing the core issue before then presenting my response was something I felt I could not be avoided. This does not devalue the importance of any singular topic discussed. They are all vitally important, and each chapter should be viewed as its own video. Feel free to use the contents of this video as you wish and even monetize it, as long as the context to all the statements is provided and the video is not in its entirety is not re-uploaded. The video in its entirety has already been re-uploaded. This includes, of course, fair use reactions and edits. So it's officially here. He's addressing everything. He has chapters for every single section and statement. And before we get into this, okay, the way that I'm gonna break it down for you guys is to show you the highlights. Obviously, we're not going to sit here and watch an hour and 20-minute video, but I did watch it last night. And when you watch a video that's usually dropped by Dream and past history, whenever he's trying to debunk something or clear his name, I know from firsthand that usually 24 to 48 hours, it gets debunked by Reddit. AKA the whole speed run cheating situation, which he brought up in this video as well as for context, because he believes that that thing was something that attacked his character and, you know, made people believe that he's not believable. This is definitely one that after I watched, I'm going to chill and see if Reddit or somebody out there comes there and just completely destroys all his arguments or not. But I will say, upon view, when watching this, that I think that it was well structured in terms of the sheer amount of content and response to the accusations that were presented, trying to provide evidence, paste spins, yada, yada, yada. It was okay, Creative Cloud. It wasn't terrible. He provided videos and pictures and clips and content and yada yada. He provided a lot of freaking information. I don't think this was a terrible response when it comes to attempting to try to respond to all of the allegations that are out there. Now, I'm not saying that I'm Team Dream, okay? Stop it right now, internet. I just said, all right, I'm going to chill for a little bit. I'm going to wait for the exchangement of information. I'm going to let him make his video, and I'm going to let other people see if they want to point any holes or see if there's any falsities or lies or untruths in here. I'm going to chill for a little bit, and then eventually, once the information finishes exchanging, I will say, like, yeah, I will say what I think truly about the situation. But I will say that I don't think this was a bad response video. So here's all the points that he makes, okay? I'm going to show you guys the intro just so that you guys can have an introduction to what it is that he is saying. And then when it comes to all the points that he's talking down here, I'll give you guys a quick TLDR. I'll play any highlights if I feel like it might be important for you guys to have under context. But yeah, we'll do a nice thorough comb through so that you guys at home don't have to watch an hour and 20-minute video to know exactly what's being said.
In this video, I'm going to be very vulnerable, open, and honest. I go into my past, I go into controversies, and I also debunk very serious lies about me, including by involving the police, legal teams, and extensive research. It will get uncomfortable. I will get into details of my life that you probably don't want to hear, and I don't particularly want to share either, but it feels necessary given the circumstances, and honesty and truth is my top priority. As you guys have probably noticed, I took a long break from YouTube, and since the face reveal, I've hardly really uploaded. And I've really focused on other things and separated myself from a lot of the stuff I was doing before. You may think that this was due to the hate from the face reveal, or for other reasons, but really there was something else that happened right after the face reveal, and it really made me step back from what I was doing and have a lot less passion. If you've been on the internet recently, you've probably heard or seen some pretty crazy stuff about me. Whether it's the voice actor of Gumball attacking me or accusations against me regarding grooming, you've probably heard a lot of pretty crazy stuff. I thought it's extremely important for me to make this video and provide as much information as I can. And I just want to right off the bat state as clearly as I can that these allegations are not true. I plan on going to extreme detail to prove that in this video. And to all the people that are spreading lies, fabricating stories, and making false accusations for fun or because they think it's funny.
I don't care. I've accepted I'm a horrible person.
This is not funny. This is not a joke. This is people's lives, ranging from my own, my family, my employees, to actual victims that stories won't be heard or believed in the future because of this.
Just right off the bat, Dream's saying specifically, I ain't do it. All right. They're all lies. They're fabricated. Okay, there are people who are trying to create all of these lies about me to cancel me and to make me look bad, and I just straight out, flat out deny all of the allegations. From my understanding, there was at least 3, maybe even 4 allegations when it came to Dream and the grooming. I think there was like maybe 2 allegations that had to do with one person, and somebody dropped a 24-page expose on Dream the exact same day, or was it the prior day before Dream dropped his video, in which Dream addressed in this video in less than 24 hours, okay? So people are coming for his neck, and he is responding to said allegation. The first chapter, he talks about the face leak photo, okay? The photo of the I think I showed you guys before. The face reveals were real is what he said, and he did in fact lie about them for two reasons. He was a big chunky wungy boy, but he didn't do it because he said because he was big. Number one, he did it because of privacy issues. All right, people were leaking his face, and they were also leaking his address. They were getting doxxed left and right 50 million times. We talked about this when it did occur, and we talked about how terrible that was. But also he lied about it too, as well as because he was trying to do a face reveal, and he didn't want someone to face reveal him through through doxing and finding his personal information. My guess is also is that yeah, he knew that eventually he was going to show his face, and he probably wanted some time to lose some weight as well, because his figure, you know, here is completely different from his figure when he did the face reveal. He says pretty often that he doesn't find himself to be an attractive guy when it comes to the face reveal. He didn't talk about the damage that it did to him, but he's a satirical guy is what he says. And yeah, he's just kind of like an average dude is what he communicates when it comes to his look. The second chapter was the speed run cheating scandal featuring your boy Carl Jobs. Okay, I'm not going to spend too much time on this one because I don't really care about it. Okay, you guys can look it up in the past, but basically he got caught cheating in Minecraft speedrun, and even in this video he says he did not cheat intentionally. He had no idea. It was all an accident. And then when he hired the astrophysicist, he actually just went to a website to find somebody that was credited that can kind of look over the results, and that he went through it in good faith. And then yeah, his claim here is that he had no ill intentions through the entire process. And the reason why he's saying it here on this point, bringing it up, is because he feels that a lot of people, including me, use this speedrun cheating scandal as a basis to talk about his character or whether or not he's a liar or not. Now, I cannot confirm or deny this part of the video. It did seem pretty explanatory. And then it becomes a matter of like, do you just believe him or not? He talks about his process and his steps and everything, but you just don't know for a fact. But he provides enough information that you can come to your own conclusion. The next chapter was talking about posting thirst traps, aka Charlie is here, Moist Critical. He has his own section as well, okay? Because Charlie, being literally the biggest commentator in the YouTuber space, talked about Dream several times. And one of the things that he talked about, I'll play a clip from this, is Dream and his thirst traps that people have claimed that he has been doing. And in this chapter of the video, now when he quotes Moist Critical, he literally tries to post every single Snapchat and picture that he has ever freaking uploaded, right? Just to be like, look, here are all the ones that I've been doing. I've just been spamming it because I've been on Snapchat, and they're not supposed to be thirst traps. People are taking it out of context or whatever. I'm just a dude who's new to social media, and I'm just trying to post random funny videos, and that is it. I'm just a weirdo, but I'm not a weird guy.
Before I jump into the most important things I'm going to address, I want to talk about something that's come up a lot due to these allegations, and something that's commonly said to give credibility to me being a bad or weird person. I'm going to play a clip from Moist Critical, who talked about the allegations pretty neutrally, to his credit. But while talking about them, he said this.
Dream's audience has always been on the younger side of things, and yet Dream constantly engages with them in very inappropriate ways, such as like posting thirst traps. He does post thirst traps, even knowing that his fans are children. So when these claims come out, I think a lot of people start to take them at face value because they're like, oh, that sounds like the Dream that I know. You know, this sounds like something Dream might do, so it's probably true. Even though right now a lot of the evidence backing it up isn't the strongest.
Now, before I talk about this, I just want to ask that if you're watching this and you share the same opinion, try and give me the benefit of doubt. Genuinely listen to what I have to say and discard your preconceived biases. Because yeah, if you think someone's creepy and then they're accused of being a creep, it clearly changes how you think. So I'm going to break down multiple things that Charlie said because I respect him. I respect his opinion. I think he's a super reasonable guy, and I think he's an awesome content creator. One of the things that he said is that I post creepy pictures and thirst traps.
He does post thirst traps.
That's the first thing I'm going to talk about.
He does post thirst traps. By the way, if you haven't seen the video, this is kind of like the pacing of the video. He goes into a very highly edited with music and animations. Whoever edited this video was freaking godlike, because like, goddamn, it's a full documentary response to the truth. It's really, really well made and structured in terms of whoever did everything that's here. I'm just pointing that out as an editor. But yeah, he keeps that kind of entire sphere. It's not like just one page where it's just an empty picture and he's talking. It's very, very animated.
Pretty reasonably show you every photo and video of myself that I've ever posted on the internet. So they're going to start scrolling by now in a completely random random order. While you watch, it's important to note that what you post on something like Snapchat is very different than something you'd post on Instagram or Twitter. Snapchat runs ads every 5 or 6 photos and encourages you to post upwards of 100 photos or videos a day to have the most growth and make the most money. They only last 24 hours like an Instagram story, so on Snapchat, you kind of just spam anything. So for me, it's silly filters, my cat, whatever food I'm eating that day, I get a haircut. Because of that, it's much easier to take one silly photo from Snapchat out of context and make it out to be something that it's not. On top of that, there's a lot of fake accounts that I think people fall for all the time. They post thirst trap captions using my photos, and with how many likes they get, there's a lot of people that casually scroll Twitter and think their posts are mine.
So this is just him covering the thirst traps, which again is not super huge or important to what everyone wants to get to. He saves so here's what he's doing. He's posting a lot of these other issues here to kind of give context to his character. He's trying to express that these are things that people might be using so that when we get to the serious stuff, it already looks bad because they have preconceived notions of me being freaking weird. So he's trying to address the preconceived notions first of the thirst traps and of the speed running and all of the other stuff, and moist curdle and the comicants first before he gets into the what everyone actually cares about, which is the grooming allegation. But I will say, like, when it comes to this specific clip here as well, showing all the clips in like random orders of everything that he's doing, trying to suggest is just a weird guy who just started using social media. He wasn't posting a lot because he was indoors and he didn't show his face. And then finally, when he did started showing his face, he just started being like the first time him posting on the internet kind of guy, suggesting that at no point in time did he try to post any kind of thirst traps for his childlike, audience. He also has another section here that I won't go into detail. Why would a grown man use Snapchat? Basically talking about, again, his identity that he was trying to hide, but also he was using Snapchat as a way to make money. I don't know if you guys know this, but David Dobrik and a lot of content creators are making absolute killing on Snapchat. Just you can make a lot of money from it, okay? And he's saying that his Snapchat has actually been owned by a manager for the first year or so. The Dream account that he had was something that he just spammed, but then he got tired. He hasn't touched it in an extremely long time, and he actually gave it to a manager. And there's actually testimony in here from somebody who I guess is the person that ran his account, which I'll try to find for you really quickly. For some reason I can't find the part of the video where he has the manager come up here and talk about how she ran the account for a certain amount of time. So the source, just trust me, bro.
I think Charlie's audience is of course much older than mine, but if I posted photos like these, which to be clear, if I was ripped as hell like Charlie, I would 100%. It would be made out to be predatory because it's me when it's not at all. And that same standard isn't applied to TikTok stars or really anyone else but me, just because I'm the Minecraft guy. A lot of the photos me and Charlie have posted are actually really similar. It's just people cherry picking goofy photos of mine and then making them out to be weird. When it's just me posting random photos, because that's literally part of our...
So, yeah, I did not see him making so many comparisons with Charlie in this video. I don't think it was quite necessary, but also he's just trying to express that, yeah, weird photos, he's a weird dude. It doesn't go anything further than that, but it will go further than that because of the preconceived notions of Dream being Dream. Let's get to the first actual grooming allegation coming from a person named Anastasia, okay, which I'll play a couple of the clips here so that you can see what he has to say about it. He debunks it pretty fast and what feels like in pretty grave detail.
Get involved, but the YouTuber trending right now already face revealed to me years ago when he was flirting with me when I was a minor. Obviously, because of my face reveal, it took off, pointing out inconsistencies, asking questions, and so on. I didn't have any inappropriate contact with this person. I didn't have any sexual contact with this person. I hardly even remember who this person is at all. And the only messages I could even find with this person were friendly Twitter DMs. And even in those Twitter DMs, I mentioned that they had 18 in their bio, which they contradict. I definitely didn't face reveal to them. That's an obvious lie. Almost nobody knew what I looked like at all before my face reveal. Not even most of my best friends that had known me my entire life, let alone someone I don't even remember talking to at all. She posted a screenshot of some texts and claimed that they were from me. She showed a screenshot of my TikTok being from your contacts to try and prove that the texts were from me, which people quickly pointed out isn't possible because I have a Google Voice number hooked up to my TikTok, which isn't iMessage like the text. And again, she never claimed any sexual misconduct. She never claimed anything related to nudity or sexting. This was also in early 2020, and she had 18 in her bio. With everything and all the inconsistencies, wasn't taken that seriously. But it's still worth noting because people still somehow say this is one of 3 victims.
So that was the first one, and he's like, yeah, all complete lie, and one of the fabricated lies that got debunked early in Dream's. This was 2020. I think Dream got popular in that time frame because I think he started around 2019. So yeah, here it is. Here's the statement from the person that ran Dream Snapchat, okay? And she basically said there was definitely nothing weird going on with the account, and they were running that bad boy for the past 2 years or so. So the person behind this creepy little icon that was supposed to be Dream apparently is not Dream, and Dream has only been using it for a year, saying that nothing but the couch has credibility here, saying that somebody is saying that, yeah, nothing happened. It's just all fabricated. Second allegation has to do with a woman by the name of Amanda. This one was kind of strange and very standing. He points out that the reason why he responds to a lot of his fans is because, yeah, he was trying to cultivate a fan base, especially early on. He doesn't do so much as now because he's so much larger, but this was one of the people that he interacted with. He showed like literally as much as he can the exchanges that he had with this person on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis, and it actually seemed like he was not interested in her at all. Her, on the other hand, seemed like she was a fan. She would come in, randomly pop in, ask questions. Hey, what do you recommend for streaming equipment? Hey, what do you recommend for this? Hey, what do you recommend for that? Hey, do you want to join me and play Among Us with me? Ha ha ha. And he's kind of like giving like one-word answers and not really trying to open the conversation is what's occurring throughout this entire part of him talking about his relationship with Amanda, which he is just basically saying him randomly just giving comments to her and then just kind of leaving. But this person said October 14, 2022, Dream, you effed up. I am now getting the law involved, the pictures, messages, and everything. Consider one last time telling the truth before I contact the police for receipts of your pictures. This is effing serious. You're denying it, and it happened to me. I believe in this chapter as well, he talks about how he contacted the police. He was like, oh, do it. I mean, just do what you got to do, I guess. And he contacted the police to see if she went through with anything. And I guess she did not report anything to any authority.
I just want to say happy late New Year and Merry Christmas. Congratulations on everything you've accomplished this year. I hope I am fortunate enough one day to be as in her old TikTok of the deleted messages. Amanda, on the other hand, how are you doing, Dream? September 25th, the next day I replied, I'm good, thank you. How are you? Amanda, the same day replied, I'm doing okay, could be better, could be worse, thank you for asking. Amanda replied, how's your kitty doing? I love cats. I replied and said she's doing amazing. September 28th, so 3 days later, Amanda said, Dream, I need some advice. I'm trying to become a small streamer on Twitch, but not a single person joins my streams. How do I get an audience? October 2nd, so a few days later, I replied and said, try and play with your friends maybe? Post clips to Reddit and stuff. And she replied and said, okay, thank you. With the heart. The next day she messaged me again and said, Dream, would you ever consider playing Among Us with me? XD. I guess this was during the Among Us craze. We're still in 2020. October 5th, 2020. I replied, maybe. Heart. Amanda said, LOL, I'll take the maybe. That would be sick. I didn't reply. This is a month and a little bit later. Amanda said, hi, Dream.
And then she sent another message that was deleted after she made the allegations. But we don't know what it was. We only know the last couple characters. And again, we only know it exists because she messed up and included it in an old TikTok of hers.
And then I replied and later and said, hi. Amanda said, how are you? November.
So yeah, he does this for a really long time, kind of showing how she comes in to talk. She keeps popping in. Hey. And he's like, what's up? Yeah, maybe. And then he ghosts her for like another month or so. And that's just the trend that he's showing that he's had with the conversations with Amanda from his POV. But this is how deep into the weeds that people on Twitter go when it comes to Dream and all of this drama. Look at this. It's a chart. It's a timeline showing from 2020, showing people's ages all the way to now, showing like Amanda has a boyfriend, big gaps to the time. There's a timeline. For these events, there's a freaking episode and people are playing like mystery Scooby-Doo detective trying to figure out if Dream is a groomer or not, using these context clues from people like Amanda and then other people who fake these information as well. It's a clusterfuck.
Thirdly, the only photos she showed as proof that I groomed her were both pictures from based on her own evidence after she was 18, meaning even if we give her the benefit of doubt and assume everything she's provided is real and truthful, she was 18 when these messages would have been sent, and I had no context to the fact that she was more than a small streamer. But on top of that, I unblocked her Snapchat, went through our Snapchat chats, and couldn't find either of the messages that she was talking about. I also downloaded all of our Snapchat logs using the Snapchat data tool, which she can do as well, and neither of the compliments that she showed were in the logs. Now, honestly, this is pretty useless information because there's almost no messages in the logs at all, but it's still extremely weird that she was asked for these logs many times. It takes 5 minutes to download, and she never did it. Probably because it doesn't support what she was saying. On top of those things, from everything she had told me, she was 19 and we had no inappropriate contact. The context of these messages would be a 22-year-old creator calling a 19-year-old streamer gorgeous on a birthday post while giving her a gift card as a birthday present. Finally, she said that we planned to meet up and have sex in August when she was in Orlando.
It was suggested that we meet up and have sex. I was either going to have him come to the resort I was at, or he was going to pick me up and bring him to his house.
First of all, this was before my face reveal. I did not leave my house. I was massively paranoid. I was not meeting up with a random person I had just met 2 months before my face reveal, let alone at a resort, which is what her claim was. I'm gonna go ahead and play a phone call with my mom just to give you some perspective from before my face reveal.
We don't have to go through this conversation. All you need to know is Dream talks about how that before he revealed his face, he took extreme measures when it came to just making sure that nobody saw his face. Blocked out all the windows in the house. Every time he got in the car to go somewhere, he would put on a towel before they reached the highway. Like, he was extremely paranoid. Apparently, he only left like 3 or 4 times or 5 times out of the year for doctor's appointments, and one time when he had some kidney stones. So basically continuing to add context to suggest that a lot of the things that Amanda was claiming was false. Anyway, I'm going to skip through some of the context, okay, and just give you guys like, the police station thing. Apparently he debunked that, saying that that would never occur. There was no reports that actually got issued towards him. He called the police station and had a conversation and recorded the conversation where the person was like, yeah, no, somebody's lying on your name, bro. What happened next, basically what occurred, and I think this is quackity and all this other information. Gumball versus Dream situation. He brings clarity to this one as well, saying that he didn't know the dude. He had just met him that night, and that dude was just a POS, and he was just quite literally a belligerent, ignorant, garbage dude. So much to the fact that he got an interview with the goddamn Uber driver who was in the car in the video with him and Gumball and a 4th person that's not going to be named. I have not seen this much investigative work go into trying to clear your name. And this is what I meant in terms of like thorough. He literally draws out as much information as possible. So if he is lying and any of this 1 hour and 22 minutes, it would be very easy to debunk very quickly. If any of the people are saying that you're lying, Dream, they should be able to provide something.
So I got in contact with the Uber driver from that night. I interviewed him, and I'll let him speak for himself to help clear some things up. Hey, what's the worst that can happen? It's an Uber drive.
What is that from? Oh, what is that?
You're gonna be paralyzed. You're gonna be dead. Like, I'm serious.
Okay, man. What's going on, man?
This is our Uber driver, who happens to be one of the highest rated Uber drivers in all of Texas. He agreed to come share his recollection of what happened, so I'm just gonna let him talk.
When I picked you guys up, you know, he had a lot of energy. He was wild, like putting his head outside filming. The phone dropped out of the car. When the cop showed up, the cop came up to the car at first and was talking to him. And the way that he was speaking to the cop, he was speaking like down on the cop. And I'm like, man, like, you need to be quiet because you're going to go to jail if you keep talking to the cops like that. As soon as I said that, not even 20 seconds, the cop came and he was like, you get out the car, you're going to jail. I'm trying to save you from going to jail because I don't want nobody to go to jail, period. He kept saying something about like IQ, like he felt like he was better. And I was like, nobody cares about your IQ. There's a lot of people with high IQs in jail right now. So what are you going to tell them? You're going to talk to them and say that you're a child star while you're in jail? So I was like, I'm trying to help you out. I don't want you to go to jail. Even after you're acting crazy and wild, which most Uber drivers would have left you. You never said anything negative towards him while he was saying all this stuff. Majority of the stuff didn't make it on the tape. I think he was going through a lot of other things besides just being drunk.
So yeah, the Uber driver was just like, yo, Nicholas Cantu was a freaking heathen and a mess. Yeah, if I was the Uber driver, I would have been like, yeah, take his ass to jail because I don't need that. I ain't trying to help some kid who thinks he has high IQ. Let him try to figure out that high IQ in jail. I would have left him. But Dream thoroughly using as much evidence as he can to show in this Gumball situation that he was not a perpetrator, didn't really know the dude, and was much more of a victim, even though the internet came at him and was making fun of him for being attacked. He's providing a lot of context and a lot of information. He also said he had just met Nicholas and he was already drunk. The party was not his party. He did not know how old Nicholas was. He was not the one recorded, and he only posted the video because he was lying on his name on Twitter. Next chapter, he talks about doxing and how serious it is and how his family had to go through doxing situations nonstop, left and right. People were showing up at his door, fans or creeps or whatever. When he was living in a house with the SMP, like he would have to put on a mask, or he would go away so someone else can come answer the door so that he couldn't get his face revealed. It was really, really bad and difficult for him once the leaks came out and he was getting doxxed. His families, that guns were being held. We all know that doxing is extremely, extremely terrible because then they get swatted. His family gotten swatted. There were guns being held at his family, and that's absolutely terrifying. There have been some accidents in the past where people who got swatted died. They didn't talk about the Dream moaning allegation. There was a Allegation from Burner 2022, who said there was some clips or whatever of him moaning and sexting and grooming in this whole thing, the dream did what tag. He denounces all of it. He said it was all fabricated. He shows how it was fabricated. He shows like there's a video of a video of a video of a text of a text of a video, and he says he did not do it at all.
I reached out to them to try and find anything that I could find to find out what this was even about, because I've never been confronted by one of my friends for grooming, and I've never groomed anybody. So I found out who was anonymous in these messages, and let's hear what they have to say.
These screenshots are extremely out of context and used disingenuously to tell a story about Dream that isn't true at all. I haven't spoken to Dream in a very long time, but to my knowledge, he has not interacted with underage fans inappropriately or in any way that could be considered grooming. These DMs were posted by the burner without my permission and without ever contacting me beforehand. They were sent to the burner by a vulnerable person that was upset and being taken advantage of while under the influence of alcohol. I want to be anonymous and stay completely out of this because all of the terrible stuff I've seen happen to everyone mentioned on both sides is very scary. This conversation was private in my life, and no one deserves to have their personal life dug through because of anonymous people making false claims without knowledge or context about anything they're saying.
This person was not involved at all and did not consent to anything. Now, if you're a little confused, I am too. This is a burner account making up things. Their story makes no sense. Okay, so let's just summarize this. This allegation is not from a victim. It is from an anonymous Twitter account that was made the same day as the allegation. This anonymous person claims that I groomed a girl named Jamie. They did not ever contact Jamie. They did not know Jamie. They got none of their information from Jamie. They even incorrectly said that she quit the internet years ago when she's still active to this day. They posted videos claiming to be from me to a minor. They never showed proof that it was from me or my Snapchat profile. They never showed proof of who it was to. They cropped context from screenshots, lied publicly and said I admitted the videos were from me. They falsely alluded to the fact that the victim gave them permission and ended up causing massive harassment and terror to Jamie, who they said was a victim of mine. The person in the screenshots claims that I'm not a groomer, that they're extremely out of context, and that the burner doesn't even know what was being discussed, and that now their personal life is being dug into due to an anonymous burner account. On top of that, no one even taps to open the Snapchat. There's no finger, you can't open snaps with a button, but it doesn't even matter because you can see that no buttons were pressed. So how did it open? Nobody touches the screen.
So he goes on and keeps saying like, look, none of this makes any sense. Like, this is all fabricated. Here is all of the evidence. What more do you want from me? Ending the video, by the way, because I'm getting kind of tired talking about it, but he calls the police to see if anything actually happened. The police were like, nah, nobody talked about you at all. He got a statement from the actual victim, Jamie herself. Part of Dream admitted was him. I can't even recall the false accusations, basically saying that people have been making many more. These are just 3 of the claims, but people have been making false accusations left and right, easily fabricating it. And people will take it as, you know, truthful. Like, people on the internet, like, what? Dream did this, and then now they believe it, and now they hate it. And lastly, we'll end with this one, but this is the part where he basically drags XQC and Pokimane under the bus.
Probably watching this. I want you to address this. What do you have to say for yourself? It's irrefutable proof.
It says, Felix, yo, can't stop thinking about you, dud. Like it's bad. Yeah? Question mark. I know you don't want me to bring up Lil Nas X party again, but I need to be your gag daddy. Check snap. The terrible thing is I can see XQC. I can hear him. XQC streamer, you guys probably know he is, but I can hear him speaking these things.
Or Pokimane. You've been getting some hate for your cookie prices recently. And I don't mean to expose you, but you did say this to me.
It says here, they're just some stupid cookies. I repackaged them, selling at 10 times the price, but my fans are stupid AF, so they'll buy them anyway. They taste pretty good at the least, smiley face. Time to get rich off stupid little girls and simps again. Funny enough, this picture was used to spread misinformation on Twitter. They took these clips and people took it on Twitter and then they used it to spread misinformation. Which people who are not in this debacle took it and is like, damn, I knew it. We're canceling Pokimane. Look at her. She's a terrible human being. Or look at XQC. Nasty ass. I knew this man was weird. You know, like people literally are eating up these fake images that he showed here were just fake, took it and then made it real, showing how easy it is. So ladies and gentlemen, that's the Dream situation. If you go on Twitter and you give an opinion about the situation, you will get smashed. If you say, hey, Dream, you made a very excellent, great video. Then the people who hate Dream will be like, are you ridiculous? Do you approve of P-files and touchers and all that? And if you go there and you say, Dream, this was a terrible video and you're still a groomer and all this, then you got his fans coming out here and be like, did you watch the video? Blah, blah, blah. How do you not trust them after all of this information? It's one of those opinions that are more important than your political stance, okay? What do you believe about humanity? What do you believe about wars? What do you believe about all these actual events that matter? Nobody cares, but what do you believe about Dream? Oh, you will get murked by somebody on the internet. So here we go. You guys are wondering, what is my official stance on the situation, okay? I think it was a very enlightening video that provided context that we did not have before. I also know that Dream has a history of making videos like this that has gotten debunked immediately. So I am going to chill. I am going to wait. I am not going to take a side here. I'm going to see and let some time pass and some exchange of information to go through to see if anybody is going to come here and find some contradiction in what Dream has said. Because just like the Gerard the Completionist situation, okay, the more somebody talks, the easier it is to catch them in the lie. They can put their foot in their mouths. And Dream just talked a lot. So this gives people a lot of opportunity to find any lies or holes or contradictions. Objectively, I will say when it comes to responding to situations, this video was probably on the upper end of being able to provide as much information as possible from many different facets. It was not poorly done. Whoever edited the video is goated, and he said a lot and addressed a lot and provided as much evidence as it seems like he can. But there are some people who feel like he left out a lot of information in terms of what people have found issues with him in the past before. For example, Helen the Joyful said, I know lots of people already asked this, but the Dream video addressing all the allegations, the video was decently in depth, but it did not mention any of the racism scandals or times that he weaponized his fan base. If you guys don't know, Dream has Twitter fingers and he gets big baby rage mad. He didn't touch upon all of that. He only touched upon the things that makes him look good. But the things that made him look really bad that people had complaints with, he ain't say nothing. And this man's Twitter fingers has put a lot of people in situations that were not so good. He would quote retweet, accounts with like 40 followers, and then all his stands would just attack him. You got Muduhar who said, Dream made a pretty awesome response video. Good for him. 18,000 likes, and then you got people in the comments like, bro, it's not it, buddy. You might get dragged for this. He literally pulled a yandere dev. I can't LMFAO. Dark Viper AU said, Dream's video attempting to clear his name seems in depth and pretty convincing. Being a creator and experiencing some small fleck of the BS people will say and believe entirely for malicious reasons does make me biased. Admittedly, having to accept that people will believe false things about me and there is nothing I can do about it has been one of the hardest pills I've had to swallow. Dream made fake DMs in his video about how other hated creators to show how easily they can be made and believed by the masses. These are now being spread and believed. I also didn't really follow any of the accusations before this. I ducked out of Dream's online life when I accepted, largely due to Carl's video, that Dream was actually unaware of his speedruns were modded. Relative to Dream, I experienced only a tiny fraction of online attention, blah, blah, blah. I don't think Dream has handled fame well, but I have yet to see anything that's convinced me his crimes go beyond that. And as for that burner account that made the 24-page essay or whatever about Dream, basically slandering him and saying that he did all of this stuff, they had said, to clarify what we are saying, either this person lied to us about the allegations being true, sent us fake proof, and then gave us permission to post it for whatever reason, or they lied in Dream's response video about the allegations being false and the allegations are true. This person, for an unknown reason, either lied to us to make a false allegation believable, or they lied in Dream's response. One way or another, the person lied and deceived people. So the burner is now like backtracking. Look, it looks like I might have been fed misinformation. Either that or they're lying directly to Dream, and everyone's like, pack it up, you're gone. I hope you get sued. Y'all realize there's more evidence than a single burner account. It's not clear in his name. Okay, but what did you lie about going to the police then, Bethany? So switch up was wild. Me when I lie on the internet, people are like, now turning on burner 2022. But guys, that's the situation as a whole. I'm tired. I think these are my final thoughts, okay? I told you guys I'm going to remain neutral. I'm going to wait a little bit and see if there's any more information exchanging. Is anybody going to debunk or find out that he's lying? I'm going to chill for a little bit, but my initial thoughts are this. Dream appears to be a weird dude who has no social media, I want to say, etiquette whatsoever. And it doesn't seem like anyone can nail like specific hardcore evidence to show that he is grooming. I don't know if it's either because A, it's impossible to do so, or B, because he hasn't done so whatsoever. But I mean, in my opinion, I think he did a good job at least trying to respond and refute to those serious allegations. I'm not going to take everything that Dream said at face value. I'm not going to take his side. Like I said, I'm going to continue and wait. But I do think that the response that he made was enough and sufficient to be a response. And now it's up to whoever wants to keep calling him a groomer, or whoever wants to keep calling him out for all these accusations, to come to the table and prove him wrong, or to say that it did occur. That now it's up to their owners to continue to make these statements, because he's officially made the response that he's promised and said that he was going to make. I've said this before in the past when we talked about Dream. I keep saying this to you guys. I don't hate Dream. But the internet hates Dream, and I don't think he handles everything well. But at the same time, being somebody who blew up as fast as he did, yeah, I can see it not always being something that you respond and that you do. He's a young guy as well, and he gets bullied nonstop. I can see people reacting to these situations much worse. If he's lying and manipulating this to us to kind of show his character portrayed in a certain way, well, he did a really good job. But again, I'm going to wait. I'm going to chill. Someone's probably going to make a reverse video Uno on him, and then we'll see how that goes. Nobody comes up with some hard facts, conclusions, or evidence to kind of show that, you know, Dream is what people are claiming. If he's broken any crimes or whatsoever, I'm just going to chalk it up to him being a weird social dude that is just hated for, you know, being hated. And if there's more things to come out, I will let you guys know. You can let me know how you feel about Dream and the situation in the comments below. Just know that regardless of your opinion, you will be shot on sight by somebody. Speaking of shot on sight, okay, do you guys remember this guy? Johnny Somali, the dude, the terrible streamer who was going around in Japan causing a muck and breaking laws and crimes. Everyone hates this man. Like, he's one of the #1 most hated people, not for actual legit reasons, okay? Came in there and started disrespecting Japan. People in Japan were bopping him and stuff. He's getting arrested. He said, do you think he's going to keep his promise? Kick streamer Johnny Somali is now facing $200,000 yen fine and promised to quit streaming after Japanese court appearance. No, he will not keep his promise. He is a POS. He is going to lie, and he is going to cap. These are the kind of people that don't stop until somebody stomps them, if you know what I mean. And I'm not talking about getting shot or deaf or whatever, but they're so obnoxious that they do not care about other people. They only care about themselves, and he will continue to do what he does because it's in his blood and is in his nature until he gets humbled enough or scared enough to not make an appearance. This article by Dexerto saying that he appeared in a Japanese court, an Osaka district court. Somali claimed that while he was filming in the restaurant, the audio came out automatically when a viewer reacted to the stream and he wasn't in control. According to Yahoo, in addition to the music, Somali had also made remarks about wanting to drop atomic bombs on Hiroshima and Nagasaki. Comments are common during his broadcast. However, as Seneki News reports, the prosecution wasn't buying it and argued that Somali was acting arbitrarily because he wanted to please the viewers, which we all know here in the audience that yes, that's exactly what he was doing. He's a cloud attention whore who was over here basically being racist in Japan, and I hope that everything bad happens to him. Somali has requested leniency. Quote, it was an embarrassing act that inconceived employees and customers. He said, I swear that I will never record or distribute any kind of video in the future. He's lying. Keep this man in jail, bro. He is lying. But yeah, he got charged only $1,400 and the case was concluded. Charges for allegedly trespassing on the construction site were dropped. Johnny Somali also expressed a desire to return to Japan in the future, but so far it's not known if he'll be allowed back in the country. Keep his ass out. The verdict is expected to be handed down January 10th, 2024. We will know the actual results of Johnny Somali and his future. Very, very curious to see how this plays down, and when that does happen, I'll let you guys know. All right, this might be one of the most ridiculous dramas that you have ever stumbled upon. Okay, I did a little bit of a small dive on it on Twitch, and I discovered why this guy was getting hate, and I was so confused. I literally have not been more confused in my life about why someone would be hated. Dream, I understood. It made sense. Okay, he did a bunch of things and just I get why he was hated. There was reasons for it, but this one completely threw off a loop. Electrician said JoCat quits YouTube after being doxxed and harassed. People harassed him off the same internet because they thought his I Like Girls video was cringe. So he is literally leaving the internet due to cringe. People are targeting him because his content was too cringe. Here's the cringe video. It's titled I Like Girls JoCat animation is 35 seconds. And bro, I love this video because I too love girls.
Sad that there's no muscly girls in here. Well, I mean, yeah, but, you know, sure, I like to joke around and talk about how, oh, I'm strong women all the time, but that's not the only girls I like. I like big girls, pretty kitty girls, really witty girls, singing ditty girls. I like the leggy girls with the nice thighs. I like a good chest, no matter what size. I like the belly folds, I like the six packs, really tall queens, and the short stacks. From the mild girls to the wild girls. You got style girls, make them round girls. Yeah, I just really like girls.
One of the most relatable videos I can say of all time. I did not see a single lie in this video. The Resident Evil mommy and Zarya and She-Hulk, yes. Yes, please. Yes, 1,000 times. 2B and Chun-Li with the thunder thighs that will crush my head worse than a watermelon, yes, please, 1,000 times. The girls at V Shoujo are here. And we're talking the butt size, and you got Iron Mouse here as well with the medium that drops to small. You got, I don't even know who these girls are. I recognize them though, but we got the big girls with the belly fold. We got the strong buff mommies. God dang, yeah, he's got good taste. He's got good taste. He's got the tall mommies. Bayonetta, I think Bayonetta's like 7 foot something. I can't remember. It's so terrifying to know how tall Bayonetta is. You got your girl from Zelda. I don't know who she is from, but we love tall mommies here. This one, a little controversial. This one, you know, we got Roach the Bat, you know, for all the furries out there, they love some Rogue, okay? And you know, I understand. And there's Midna from Zelda, right? And I remember when I was younger, I understand. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I get it. You got Ursula Medusa from freaking what is that game called? Hades. And I know she's a character from Fire Emblem. I'm not who she is as well. I don't know who this person is. You got Jessie from Team Rocket. You got, oh my god, this is the older mommy from the Fire Emblem game. I think I wiped her actually on my first playthrough of 3 Houses. And you got Bowsette as well. Like, excellent, exquisite taste. 10 out of 10. Why is he getting doxxed? We're talking about how he loves all versions of women. What is going on? The video, by the way, guys, has 569,000 likes, only 13,000 dislikes, 11 million views. Like, it seems like just a normal video, right? Why is this the catalyst for him leaving YouTube? He made a tweet here 2 days ago, okay? He said, if this is what it takes to be a content creator online, I don't think I'm cut out for it. Read JoCat.net. TLDR, I'm going to finish up my current ongoing projects, and then I'm going to be taking an indefinite break from making content. Gather around, kiddies. Let me give you guys the context. He posted this here to explain specifically what is going on. He says, hi, my name is Joe, and I've been making videos on YouTube for 5 years. I've combined a total of about 200 videos and hundreds of hours of content. On October 6, 2020, that was 3 years ago from now, I did a live stream of the early access release of Baldur's Gate 3, and during character creation, I did a bit where I briefly sang a gender-bent parody of Lizzo's Boys. It seemed to go over well with my audience and all my friends. I typically do these kinds of bits for my live stream sometimes. I was also partly inspired by the source of where I first heard Lizzo's song, Hakeem Animation's video. Running the idea by my friends, who were all very encouraging and supportive of me, I decided it could be a fun project to animate the brief stream moment for my YouTube audience who may miss out or not be interested in my live streams. And so, on April 2nd of the following year, I finished and uploaded my I Like Girls video, and it got universally positive response from my audience, my peers, and my partner. Justifiably so. It was a good video, man. It was a very good video. About a year later, it seemed to have reached outside its target audience, and ever since then, I have seen and received many assumptions about my character, my history, my beliefs, my relationships, and all of those of my partner, as well as threats of violence to me, as well as my family, doxing attempts, and mocking from even people I look up to and respect, all from a single 30-second video out of 200 other ones. Hello? What is even being mocked? This is the question I had. Who is mocking him? I want to know, in terms of people that he respects, who is coming out here and mocking him, and what are they saying? Because I can't figure out what you could say about this video clip to make it negative. I feel like you would have to force it. You would have to find something desperately out of this video to be like, yeah, this is why you deserve hate. I've lost respect for you. Like, what? Granted, a lot of this is primarily on Twitter, where I could simply log off and ignore the haters, but no small amount has leaked into other parts of my regular day to day that is harder to ignore. Private DMs over Discord and Twitch, suspicious packages being sent to my family. But I've always kept quiet about it because speaking about it publicly, defending myself, any reaction would just encourage more and be presented as my own fault as well. But if that's the trade-off to do something like share the things I make that I'm proud of on the the internet, seen as I'm writing this, is probably an indicator that I'm just not cut out for it. And the best thing for everyone would be to stop and pursue something else. Despite being very grateful for what this job has done for me and my family, I'm simply not strong enough to keep doing this if it means having to accept this kind of amount of distress. Perhaps that makes me weak, but I've rarely ever really thought otherwise. Yeah, internet is scary. The internet is terrifying, bro. Like, it's a really scary place, and it's dangerous. That's all I can really say. And he's basically getting the brunt end of it for a single video. Why is he being targeted in the way that he is, and who is doing it? I never meant to make anyone upset. I just wanted to make things I was passionate about for fun. I never intended for this one video to really be all that much deeper than just a thing I wanted to do on whim because I thought it could be fun. I never planned to have YouTube be my job, but people happen to like what I made, so I thought it could be a good idea to make more of it and use it to pursue projects I've always wanted to make, as well as be the change in YouTube I wanted to see. I was inspired by the channels I watched growing up and the wonderful friends that have encouraged and inspired me to be who I am and make what I want. Yeah, kind of the same story as me as well. I never in a billion years thought that I would be here, sitting here talking to you guys hours and hours every single week about things that are happening around the world. Never in a million years that I think this was something that I was doing as my main gig, as my main job, and here we are, and I'm blessed, and I feel very good about it. But also, yeah, it can be very scary being up here as well, being the target of the internet, misinformation, and everything that's being spread around. It's wild out on these streets. It is not safe, and it looks like for him, those streets were 110,000% not safe. Still want to make things, but perhaps I should just keep them to myself for the time being. For anyone that cares, I'll still be continuing Heart of Valenti and the JoMega charity, but once these are finished, I will be taking an indefinite break from posting anything online. It's a decision I've considered ever since the first hate wave from about a year or so ago, but wanted to sit on it and see if the feeling would persist. Oh, now that this is the best choice for me. If you took this time to read this, thank you. I'm sorry for causing so much trouble. Thank you for watching my videos. JoCat. All right. Who did it? Who done did it? We got too many terrible people on this internet for you guys to be pushing out a freaking animator who makes really cute, funny 30-second clips, okay? Who done did it? Why y'all driving my man off the internet, man? What's wrong with y'all, bro? He also says in the tweet there was a clarification. I did not imply Hessie is responsible for the doxing her package. This is happening long before the current discourse. I did not want to send harassment her way by naming her. If you do, you are worse than the haters, and I don't condone it. Please stop. And the timeline events are upload, year of silence, random Twitter user start a hate mod, month of silence, another hate mob, doxing attempt, suspicious package, months, Hessie's tweet I mistook for hate mob. My gang Lithero says screw anyone who harassed JoCat. The crazy part is when an individual who's part of a harassing mob gets called out, they usually wig the F out and close their account. The backlash JoCat is getting is 100 times worse, by the way, and in this case it was for no effing reason. This guy made a cringy video one time, so I'm going to send shady packages to his family. Get your stuff together. Genuinely, this whole thing is gross. A guy named Scott said he didn't do a goddamn thing wrong, and some folks were unbelievably shitty to him for years. It's so unbelievably disheartening. This one that got 23,000 likes saying, in my 10 years of making content, I have met some of the most vitriolic, clout-chasing, ignorant MFers who will do anything to use you as nothing but a stepping stone to gain more for themselves. JoCat was the first to prove the opposite continue. I believe them, whatever's in the continue. I'm sure that JoCat was a great person. I don't think I need to really show you guys anything else. It seems like a terrible situation where a content creator is basically just not being able to handle the heat of being an internet creator because, well, they're being harassed. It's just not normal internet. They're just quite literally being harassed, and it's not like they invoked it in any kind of way. It's a pretty sad tale, and I hope JoCat can somehow thrive or find protection or something like that. Like, I get it. On one hand, he wants to come here and he wants to have a good energy and a positive experience. But on the other hand, there's a bunch of people out there who's making his life a living hell. And it might not be worth existing on the internet if this is what he has to deal with, because it's making the quality of his actual life worse. It's not an even exchange anymore. And yeah, this might be the end of JoCat. So I will let you guys know how this ends. Will he actually leave? Will he stay maybe following up? I don't know if there's any continuations. I will let you know. But yeah, it's a pretty sad story because I feel like this guy is definitely a net positive to the garbage that is the internet, right? Sometimes watching just small animations from these content creators here can just bring you and just make your day like 10,000 times better. Like, might be having a crappy day and you see this clip, you're like, that was funny. I like it. I feel good now. This feels great. I'm gonna carry that energy over to doing something positive in my life. Those small things add up, and to have someone, you know, lose that kind of energy doesn't feel good at all. For him being harassed, it's not a good ending. And I hope it does not have to be the ending that JoCat has to go through. Guys, okay, I'm just gonna be completely frank here. This might be the most exciting news that I have seen in a very long time. Okay, on this entire episode, everything was important, it mattered. But this right here, I am geeking out. Super said Geometry Dash 2.2 is out now. It's on Steam. Hello? Are we about to get... Okay, still, I need to calm down. For those of you guys who don't know, one of my favorite genres of gaming, if not my top gaming, is games that are like rhythm games with good music, aka like Friday Night Funkin'. I've been waiting for them to drop some Friday Night Funkin' on me so I can come back to Twitch. I just been waiting for it. I've been chilling. I've been hibernating, you know, so that they can come and I can play the new Friday Night Funkin' game. I love these games. Geometry Dash is a game, if you guys don't know, where basically you know, have a rhythm and you gotta hop through obstacle courses, go up and down and left and right and hop and dodge obstacle courses, all that stuff, while also listening and jamming to music. It's a great, amazing time. And Geometry Dash is one of the games that are known for having that hype and that energy. I didn't even know they weren't on Steam, but as of 14 hours ago, Rob Talks Gaming said, check Steam. It's got 111,000 likes. And what's this clip? Got Thanos? Stop trying to give me... Stop trying to give me copyright strike. Thanos is out here looking at the sunset and he smiles. It's officially here. 4 years since I've played last. Time to tap back in. Guys, twitch.tv/InfernoOmni. I'm going to get on this immediately. Oh my God, I'm going to inject this in my veins. This game is everything that I stand for when it comes to just having a good time and playing video games, challenging at the same time, good music at the same time, annoying and angry at the same time. I'm here for it. Twitch.tv/InfernoOmni. If you want to come play with me, y'all know I get down when it comes to these rhythm games, all right? So come through. Come through now. All right, guys, halftime. Go pee or something like that. I'm about to go refill my drink, okay? This is a long video. I have a feeling this might be the longest video I've ever done, all right? My voice is already starting to hurt a little bit. But if you've been watching this far, I just want to say, again, thanks for watching. I hope you guys are having a good time. This has been a great month and since I've been recovering from my energy, I've been loving talking to you guys about what's been happening around the world. So this is just the appreciation halftime part of the video, and also a reminder to subscribe, okay? If you're here, if you're this far, if you made it this far, if you're listening to me right now and you haven't subscribed, what's wrong with you, okay? Just do it for me, all right? I need your help, all right? Trying to get that 1 million subscriber plaque, okay? Help me out. Tell your friends about me, that we are the best place on the internet to talk about everything that's happening around the world. All right, guys, we got oh my Lord, the bad ending, man. We've been talking about Jonathan Majors, the lead role of Kang for Marvel, the Avengers, and also he was in Creed 3 with Michael B. Jordan. He's been in a trial case where his ex-girlfriend claimed that he assaulted her, and he's been going through it trying to basically prove his innocence. The verdict is out, and Jonathan Majors has been found guilty of third-degree assault and harassment. Well, let me tell you exactly what that means, because it's not as straightforward as you think. Initially, Majors faced 4 charges of assault, okay? Aggravated harassment and harassment after he called 911 on March 25th when he said he found his ex-partner Grace unconscious in their apartment. Police arrested Majors after finding apparent injuries on Jabari, including a laceration behind her ear and a bruised and fractured finger. Majors pleaded not guilty to all of those charges. But when Jabari, who took the witness stand for the first 4 days of the trial, said Majors had caused these injuries during an altercation in the car several hours before. So there was a video clip that I showed you guys where Jonathan Majors was trying to get out of a truck, and he was just ran down like 2 or 3 city blocks to get away from her as she was chasing after him. Okay, I showed you guys that in the last video. It was absolutely wild. Apparently that's where the altercation happened, and that is where the assault occurred, where her finger got broke and her ears also got lacerated. She said she saw a text on Majors' phone that said, "Oh, how I wish to be kissing you." Jabari had said she tried to snatch the phone from Majors, who then pried her finger from the phone, grabbed her arm and right hand, twisted her forearm, and struck her head to get the phone away from her. So it looks like she was trying to take his phone. He was trying to keep her from taking her phone, and in that altercation, she got hurt. First 3 charges are misdemeanor offenses and related to alleged incidents in the car, but the 4th charge of harassment, which is a violation, the most minor offense among these charges, relates to an allegation that Majors threw Jabari back into the car as she tried to exit. The defense argued that he placed her back in the car to stop her from running into traffic. That action captured on surveillance video, while the altercation inside the car was not captured on camera. So the two assaults being, one, the altercation that happened when he was trying to pull his phone away from his girlfriend, and two, the second one when he was trying to put his girlfriend back in the car, but that she was running out in the streets of the traffic to put her back in the car. The biggest thing here being is that he was not charged for intended assault. It's like accidental assault. It's in the type of assault where you accidentally hurt somebody you didn't mean to. You were trying to be careful with them and then they got hurt in the process kind of situation. Not a pre-planned, hey, I'm going to hurt you without using any kind of discretion hurt. Which I find is weird, right? Because it's very clear that when she was trying to take his phone, that she probably was also being very physical toward this man as well, and he was responding to her physical altercation, but because he's a guy, I guess, and he was strong and he was trying to take the phone back, I don't know what actually happened. She got hurt, and the process is what she is claiming occurred, which is a little strange, right? Because Jonathan Majors, we already talked about him in the last video as well. He's a toxic dude. He was sending some toxic. This relationship was very toxic, not one that he could be in. He was trying to get his girlfriend to be like Michelle Obama, right? She was coming in drunk with friends and stuff, and he's like, look, I'm trying to do something massive. I'm Kang. He was going to make $20 million salary as Kang, and now that's all out of the window just because of this altercation with his ex-girlfriend. That's insane to me. If we can be real, can I be real with you guys? It sounds like to me that maybe he was about to be Kang and she was about to become an ex-girlfriend, which she did. And so she was like, well, if I'm the ex and I can't get a part of that Kang money, then I'm going to drop some charges on you and ruin you. That's the cynical nature in me, of me thinking of human nature, where people will be spiteful and hurt you just for the sake of hurting you. I could be wrong, okay? I could be wrong, but that's what it feels like. Feel free to disagree with me, by the way. Okay? I'm just talking off the noggin here, okay? Don't listen to me. Anyway, immediately after that, Marvel said, you're out, you're fired. Right after the case, they fired your boy. He will no longer be a part of the Marvel Studios. They renamed Avengers: The Kang Dynasty to just Avengers 5. His name is being he's being written out. It's gone. The end of Loki, the end of the series for Ant-Man. Somehow they're going to pivot. I don't know how. They might recast him. I don't think they've said yet. I'll double check for you guys. Or they might just switch over to another bad guy who might be Doctor Doom, who everyone's been excited to see as well. Dro2H said, I would have cried knowing I effed everything up. Jonathan Majors' Avengers 5 salary could have made him one of the richest people, set to receive a whopping $20 million for Avengers 5. The largest bag fumble in the history of bag fumbles. Oh my God, that's just ginormous. A lot of people were also making comparisons to other people who was in the Marvel Universe. Robert Downey Jr., Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye, accused of threatening to kill his wife. Josh Brolin, Thanos, accused of hitting his wife. Ezra Miller, a lot of people use the example of Ezra Miller, the Flash, who was in a lot of hot fire. This man was being accused of some really, really terrible things having to do with him and his family, and he's been chilling. He went and he did the Flash, and he's good. He's Deja Vu. To be fair, it's a different studio altogether, okay? He's not a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. People felt like this was pretty unfair compared to a lot of the accusations that came from other people. I don't know the validity of that, to be completely honest, but I do feel like this situation, something about this situation rubs me the wrong way. The thing here that I'm trying to avoid here, for those of you guys like Omni, are you victim abusing, huh? Do you not stand for victims? Please don't throw that shade over here, okay? I see the full context of the situation, and I also see that Jonathan Majors is not 100% clear angel dude, okay? I saw the text. They were really toxic, the way that he was manipulating. I talked about it in the last video, okay? Don't turn on me. Don't start saying that I'm victim blaming, okay? I see the big picture. So it's conflicting because, like, yeah, if Jonathan Majors did put his hands on this girl in a way that was physically attempting to harm her, then yeah, he's justified in getting himself yoinked off the scene. My issue that I have here is that it seems like that maybe this happened because he was just stronger and it was unintentional and they were having a debacle. And she also seemed to be very physical and an aggressor in this situation. They already talked about how she tried to take his phone forcefully, and then you can see him running away from her in the streets. Okay, usually when you see a situation where someone's committing assault or is an abuser or something, you don't see somebody running away out of a car. You don't see them fleeing, and let alone the other person who was the person getting assault chasing after them. Okay, that's just the timeline and the events that happened here when it came to what we saw. Did things happen behind closed doors? Maybe, but it's rough. But yeah, guys, that's Jonathan Majors. He's gone. No more Kang. And we got no more black guys being a national multi-universal threat. Actually, I don't know if you guys knew this, but the original person to play Thanos was actually a black guy. And then he got recasted. I don't know why. But also someone brought it to my attention that we still do have a universal threat, and that is Spider-Man, Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse. Technically, he is the threat, but also you can also say it's Miguel and the rest of the Spider-Man. But yeah, let me know how you guys feel about the Jonathan Majors situation. I'm kind of really sad because I really liked Jonathan Majors in Creed. I also really liked him in Kang. I thought he was a good actor. I liked him in Loki, and I wanted to see more from him. And it feels like the damage that got done here could have been prevented so easily. Again, if he did do the assault, then rest in peace, Bozo. Get the hell out here, ejecto si do cuzzo. I don't really care. But given the rest of the context of the information and the fact that when he actually got charged, he was only guilty of like unintentional assault, kind of like accidentally hurting somebody, it feels very, oh man, I don't know how to put this. It doesn't really feel like justice was served here. I don't know, I don't know how to word it. This is one of those things where I'm a little bit speechless and I still need to process it, but it doesn't feel right in my chest and my brain. Something seems a little off. If my spider senses are tingling properly, I don't think things played out the way that they probably should have. But you guys can let me know how you feel about the situation in the comments below. But you know what justice has been served? Oh boy, this YouTuber by the name of Ruby Franke. I don't know if you guys have been following this. A lot of YouTubers like Swoop and a lot of commentary channels have been covering the situation for quite a while. There's this YouTuber, her name was Ruby Franke, and she was like a family vlog channel, okay? One of those things where they make videos talking about their kids and all of that. And it came to an understanding that she was abusing her kids. Trigger warning for you guys right in here that might kind of affect you. She did terrible things to her 10 and 12-year-old kids, okay? And she pleaded guilty just 2 days ago of 4 counts of felony child abuse charges. Now, I looked into the actual felony child abuse charges online, and I believe every single one of those had like a minimum sentence of like 15 to 20 years. If the kid resulted in death, well, it went even further. But she is gone. There were 6 charges. She pleaded guilty to 4 counts, and I believe she is also blaming this other woman who influenced her to treat her kids the way that she did. If you're wondering what exactly did she do, I don't want to give you guys the details in a way that might make your stomach curl, but they are that bad. She put them through this kind of like almost like militant abusive slave type situation with her son, making them stand out and do hard labor, carrying heavy books up and down stairs, being outside when it's extremely hot, starving them, making sure that they don't eat anything that tastes good or has any flavor, making sure they don't absorb any media, no TV, absolutely just psychologically trying to destroy them physically and mentally. The kids had sunburns and scratches and scars. They were handcuffed. They were taped and held so that they could not escape. There were a few times where they would try to escape the house to get aid, and then after that occurred, they handcuffed their freaking kids to make sure that they could not get out. It wasn't until I believe the oldest, the son, escaped, went to a neighbor's place and said, "Can you give me some food and water? I'm hungry." And that's when she finally got. For those of you guys who want to know, here's the actual appearance of Ruby Franke in the court. Oh boy.
Ms. Franke is now here. Mr. Winward, we are scheduled for a waiver hearing. Is there going to be a waiver today?
There will, plus a plea agreement, Your Honor.
And so I'm going to skip to the parts where they talk about the counts, because the first 2 minutes of this, or even 3 minutes, Is the judge basically saying like, hey, they're going to accept the plea deal? Have you been coerced? Have you been paid? Are you under duress? Are you under the substances? Okay, is there anything? Are you sure you want to take this plea deal because it's going to stick? And spend like 2 or 3 minutes making sure that she understands what the repercussions are of accepting said plea deal.
We are ready to proceed.
All right, then. Ms. Franke, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 6, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family and my...
Shut the hell up. I don't want to hear that. Just say guilty and get out of my face. With my deepest regret and sorrow for my family? No. Shut the goddamn hell up. If it wasn't for that kid escaping, okay, they'd still be in there, maybe even dying because of your freaking terrible, not even terrible parenting. You were abusing your freaking kid. Don't give me any of your goddamn sympathy, okay? Just take your ass to jail and go rot in.
There won't be any argument about whether prison is the appropriate sentence. Counsel, what about sentencing on February 20th? I think, do you and your client agree to waive time, counsel?
We do agree to waive time, Your Honor.
February 20th, I believe, is a Tuesday. Is that right?
So February 20th, Tuesday, we will get further updates on the situation, but it doesn't quite end here. I found a very insightful video that goes over some of the details when it comes to the Ruby Frank situation. It was excellently made by this TikTok person by the name of Julie Louise 1975. I'm going to play some of it so you can have almost all of the context of the situation. She did a very good job at drawing it out. She does talk in very, very grave detail about the damage that she did to the kids, which I will skip because I've kind of already given you guys the top level approach, and even my top level approach didn't include all of the heinous details, okay? But she talks about how she might be pushing forward, trying to blame this situation on somebody else.
We now know the details of what Ruby Franke and Jodi Hildebrand had been doing to Ruby's 2 youngest children. Trigger warning right now, guys, because this is way worse than I thought. As you know, Ruby Franke was in court today. She pled guilty to 4 out of the 6 child abuse charges, and she has agreed to testify against Jodi Hildebrand. From her statement released by her lawyer this week, it sounds like she is putting a lot of the blame on Jodi Hildebrand.
So Jodi Hildebrand was the second woman that was involved. If you actually go to the YouTube videos and the YouTube channel, this woman, Jodi Hildebrand, was there talking to her about how they were parenting kids. Definitely not talking about the abusive parts as well, but this Jodi Hildebrand person seems to have been telling her how to raise her kids in this terrible abusive way.
They did appear to arrive together, and when Ruby entered the courtroom, she did turn and look at them and smiled. If you haven't seen the courtroom footage yet, it is in my previous post. I'm going to now read to you exactly what Ruby has admitted to, the things that she has done to her 2 youngest children, her 10-year-old daughter and her 12-year-old son.
I'm gonna stop right there, okay? It's really, really, really bad. I already touched over on it, okay? But it goes much more explicit, okay? She abused her children.
Stated that Ruby and Jodi sought to indoctrinate him. They were trying to convince him that he was evil and possessed. It went on to say that he had to be willing to be obedient to avoid punishments, that his punishments were necessary for him to repent, and that they were doing all of this out of love.
So yeah, guys, this is the 8 passengers Ruby Frank update, okay? She's pleading guilty. It's going to be a rest in peace bozo. She's going to try to blame things over here on the other woman as well, but garbage person. Pack it up. They're probably going to jail for life. She's trying not to get executed is my guess. I mean, the kids did not die, so I'm guessing there won't be any kind of execution, but the lowest of the lowest of the lowest of the lows, trying to physically and mentally and psychologically destroy 10, 12-year-old children. The evil in this person and the audacity to come up here and say that you have regret. Nah, get out of here, pack it up, Get out of my face. So guys, this is terrible news for gaming news. We've been talking about all this great news for gaming. It's been a great year for gaming, but man, oh man, we got one of the biggest leaks in gaming history of all time. And it happened to both Insomniac Games and Rocksteady Studios, according to my guy, Gregory Ham 99. Had some massive leaks come up over the past few days. Insomniac's output through 2032 has leaked, and the entirety of the Suicide Squad and Kill the Justice League has leaked as well. Okay, a hacker came and took all the information from Insomniac Games for the next 10 to 15 years. Personal emails, personal accounts, video footages of games and when their timelines and when they will release, Wolverine, Ratchet and Clank, all of these things got leaked in such incredible detail, full games, terabytes of footage and hardware, thanks to some hacker who was trying to basically ransom their software and try to get money in return after they stole it. Now guys, I'm not going to show you any of the video footage or the leaks or the Wolverine. I'm just not going to do it, okay, because I don't know, it doesn't feel right. I'm also not a guy that likes to talk about leaks in the first place, but this one is such a huge one, I'm just going to let you know that it occurred. But I'm not going to obviously just show you the footage of the leaked stuff, okay? Out of respect of Insomniac, in case you guys didn't know, they're the guys who were responsible for making Spider-Man 2 with Miles Morales, okay? And a lot of other prior games as well. They had a huge W this year in making such an amazing game, but yeah. Apparently the budget for that game also was like around like $200-300 million, which is like insane. I wonder if they recouped their costs, but I'm not going to show you the details of the details. Really good tweet by this guy named Greg Miller. He has 1.2 million followers with kind of funny vids, and he said the Insomniac leak is an invasion of privacy done on a massive scale. That's why today we will not be reporting on details of the leak. Instead, we will discuss how this affects the people working on your favorite games. There's a quick 1 minute and 30-second clip I like to see from this guy to see what he has to say about it, who probably has much more understanding of what's going on.
Hello everyone, it's me, Greg Miller from Kinda Funny Games, and if you didn't know, Insomniac was held ransom by some cyber hackers, the types, you know what I mean, saying that they wanted $2 million or they'd release a whole bunch of Insomniac files. And they did that. Insomniac did not give them the money. The hackers released the files, and now the internet is in flames as all sorts of information about Wolverine, Insomniac, personal data of the developers, and so much more is floating around. This has led to a giant conversation about how this should be handled in reporting video game news. I wanted to come to you and talk to you about how we'll approach it on Kinda Funny Games Daily today. Today, we will not go into the details of this leak. We will instead talk about the human component. All the developers at Insomniac who just had years and years of work published when it was not ready to be seen, information published when it was not ready to be seen, contracts published when they were not ready to be talked about, and of course, their own personal information shared against their will. This is an invasion of their privacy, done in one of the most malicious ways possible. So today on Games Daily, we will focus on the human element of this. Of course, going forward in the years to come, there will be references to this information because it is out there in the public sphere, but we don't think it's newsworthy today when so many people, actual human beings, are in a lot of pain. So that's how we're going to do it today on Games Daily.
So yeah, I kind of agree with the content. Like, on one hand, it's such a massive leak that it's almost impossible to ignore it because the information is out there, right? As Insomniac, starts to release dates and trailers and stuff, it's going to be based on things that we already know. And a lot of people on the internet are like, what happens now? Is this bad for Insomniac? Is this good for Insomniac? Clearly, it's not good for the developers and the people who got hurt. Passport information, private information that's being shared to the entire world. Okay, that clearly there are victims in the situation and they're not the ones that are going to come out on top of it. But as the company as a whole, it's kind of like what happens next. Now we know what their plan is. We know who they worked with. We know what their contracts are going to be. We know what games they're developing. And I guess it's just a matter of is when it comes out, are we going to support it and buy it or not? And highly likely, yes. Okay, Wolverine has been a game that they've been teasing for an extremely long time that everybody wants to pick up and get ready for. So my guess is that when it comes to them releasing their games, as long as the games are good, even though the information has been exposed, my guess is that everyone is going to buy and purchase the game. I don't think this is the end of Insomniac Games, but it is a huge, major blow. And this is like this hacker situation between them and then GTA 6 getting leaked. It's getting worse and worse, bro. Can't escape the leaks, whether it's unintentional and someone spoils some anime or the show for you, the movie for you, the trailers themselves spoiling it for you, or you got hackers and leakers who are like, you know what? Yeah, I want all your information. I want to send random. And if you don't give it to us, then we're going to give it to the rest of the world. It just keeps happening at an alarmingly large rate. Cybersecurity is at threat at a national level when it comes to the gaming industry. And it seems like they might want to bulk up or beefy it up, because as we get into this new age of technology that continues to grow and grow, it seems like their defenses need to grow as well. Otherwise, we might see this being a commonplace thing in the industry. I think Insomniac games will be fine, but we'll see. Only time will tell. But all right, guys, that's all I have for today's huge, big, chunky, wonky. I am not looking forward to editing this bad boy. Arm, please. I need you to work for me today, all right? Just one last time so we can get this video out. If you made it to all the way to the final end of this movie of a video, drop the like. Subscribe, you guys haven't already. Thanks for hanging out with me for today for this big epic movie of a video. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. I need to go edit this video. Oh my god, I don't want to do it. I'm tired. I love you guys, all right? Y'all take it easy. Be safe out in the streets. I'll catch you on Friday if there's any big news. And yeah, man, happy holidays. I'll catch you in a little bit, all right? All right, peace.